Hello, everyone. Welcome to The Curious Artist. My name is Inez, and yes, I am your curious artist. I'm always wondering what's next. What can I do? What can I not do? I will certainly challenge myself. And I like to welcome back those who have been sticking around for the Sky series. First of all, I like to get started with letting you guys know I am feeling much better. Um, but my eyes are still very puffy from my allergies. And just to be honest with you, I did try to record this video once already, and I liked the end result of it. But there was a period of time, the most important part of the time in that video, that I forgot to press record. And I finished up the video. I believe that it was I like it obviously because I'm biased. It's my painting. I did it. It came out very pretty, but you guys deserve better, and you guys are gonna actually get to see how it's actually done. I will show you the end product here in a minute, but just to recap, we've been working on the skies. We've done fluffy, we have done sweeping, we've done storms, what's it, the dabbing method as well. What else have we done? Can't remember. Oh, different color where you fuse the colors in. That's the other one. I'm making the video, so I don't even know what I'm doing. This is from the last video. This is the Stormy Clouds, where we put in rich syrupy paint into very watery paper, and then we spread it to make the paint run down, make it look like there's a storm coming. Hence the name of Storm is Coming. And this composition, I really liked it. I overworked it a little bit, but I'm still happy with it. It's always, you make it what it is. I'm gonna put this aside. Of course, I framed it because I told you guys I loved it. These little bears, there's a bunch of them, but those are actually from an accident. I had a lot of little dots from some paint that got spattered on the paper, but I really, really enjoyed it. My mistakes made birds. Here you go. I'm gonna put this aside. Also, something in the last video that I did not show you that I said I would is I was going to show you the attempts, the mistakes, the tries, and all that stuff to be able to get to the Stormy Cloud final product. And this is the first attempt, the second, third, and it's not that I've not done them before, but I've been practicing a lot. So I have to make sure that I can get. If you heard some scratching, is the mic. I'm trying my new mic today, so I make notes so I know what mistakes not to make, which I still end up sometimes doing them because I say it can't be that bad. I'll try it again. But in Stormy Clouds right here, I put notes on like dry on wet. For Stormy Clouds, no. This one turned out better. I liked it. Then, and this is my journal. I think I've shown this to you guys before. I have about 4 or 5 of them. And this is, instead of taking out the big block, I do this. It's got decent paper in it. And it buckles a bit, but it's manageable. And this is 3 and 4. I really like these ones. I got a nice compliment when I posted them on Facebook. I'm not giving out any names unless they authorize me to do it. But yes, someone did leave a nice little comment about it, which made me feel all warm inside. That I ran and I told, of course, my significant, oh, look what this person put on there, So, yeah, I got giggly over it. So this is it. Oh, and another thing. Remember when I said, I don't know why they put white into the palettes, we never use them, whatever. Well, I found out that's a lie because I experimented with it. And this is solid black paint with, I put white in here and then green on top of the white. It gives it a very opaque, it's almost like wash. It almost looks like wash on top of it. And we'll talk about gouache in other videos. Not today because it's another ball game, but it's an awesome ball game. A little bit of dry technique here, dry on dry, which gives it texture. Make sure I believe whatever it wants to believe, like a little beach notion right there. So we're going to leave that at that. I hope you guys are doing well, by the way. Thank you for being here. I am going to start by this video because I almost always forget. Please get a like. If you haven't subscribed, please do so if you enjoy my videos. And share. That would be really, really appreciated. Please share. I'm just going to recap also the last video. We did this, another happy mistake here in the clouds, which inspired today's episode. I keep saying episode. It's not an episode. It's not a TV series, but this video. Which I'm going to tell you something. This is a full circle. Because I mentioned in the previous video, I have been looking at a picture for a month that reminded me of what I just did here. Okay? But the truth is that while I was staring at that picture, it actually inspired this guy's series. So it's come full circle. That picture I've been looking at inspired the series, and towards the end of my series, which made it into the bonus, because I still got one more video to make on the Sky series, which will be the last one for next Friday. Made it into the bonus series, and it's actually a pretty awesome picture. I'm going to show it to you. I'm also going to show you the picture that I did in the video that was supposed to be this video, where I forgot to press record. Because, I mean, it's fair. I have to show you the things. And I'm very honest when I make mistakes. I don't like fessing up to my mistakes. But that's what makes me real and human and obnoxious, if you want to say it. I have had friends and family members who have told me that that's what gets me in trouble. Sometimes for telling the truth. But it makes me feel good. At the moment, maybe not. But in the long run, I don't have to forget the lie, you know? So I'm happy with that. There's an inspiration for today's video, and I'm going to show you what came out of it. Ta-da! This is what happened when I did that video. And when I told you I forgot to record the important part, which is the clouds. I forgot to record the clouds. I recorded everything else but the clouds. And I mean, that makes no sense, right? So I'm going to attempt not to do exactly the same picture, because this was not, it doesn't look like the picture at all. It's just about the clouds what inspired me. It's that reference. Keyword, reference, picture. Never, unless you're that good and you feel like doing it, never think of your reference pictures as something you have to copy. For me, it's more so about the colors and the technique to get this. And I'm going to show you. So this was inspired by this, which the whole series was inspired by this picture here that I've been looking at all month long. You can see that? I'm trying to get the glare out. It's a very beautiful picture. It's got lots of purple and violet, coral, and I believe it's coral, not titanium buff. Naples rose. That's what it is. Naples rose. And that's what's in here. It's got purple, violet, Naples rose, and a little bit of coral. You can't really tell that it's there, but it's there. And most of it is down in this area where I covered it up. I used several different brushes. I didn't do a very good job. I was not feeling all that great in the last video. I was way more nasally than I usually am with my allergies. My head was kind of foggy. And I'm not going to lie to you, because I am human. I almost felt like, you know what, I'll just post it regardless. And, you know, but like I said, you guys deserve better. And I shouldn't be cutting around the corner. I shouldn't be cutting corners to get these videos out. So I'm gonna go ahead attempt to do the sky again. I don't know what the landscape is gonna be like, because I usually, once I do the sky, I do whatever. And maybe I won't do a landscape or a foreground for you, because I'm trying to teach you more so about the skies. This foreground is basically a bunch of tapping and dabbing different brushes. I use the cat's tongue here, my Simply Sims number 10 round to add pigment here, here, and here. This as well. I use a little bit of my Micron markers. Oh, happy Inktober, by the way. I'm not sure if I'll be participating in the Inktober event. I'm not. I mean, I use ink in my paintings sometimes to make fine lines or whatever, but I'm not a full-on painter that uses ink in the watercolors or acrylics. Or I don't know if you can use it with acrylics, honestly. But if I happen to decide to do maybe one, I'll do it. I'll show it, make a small video for it, and I'll show it. So let's get started with it. But I'm not gonna lie to you, I really like this painting. It's very nice. So I might frame this, give it away to somebody. I don't monetize for my paintings. I'm not really good at promoting myself or putting prices on my paintings, which I know the rules for pricing, but I don't like them. And when you price things too low, even the buyers say, you know what, she don't value what her paintings are worth. And you put it too high, then people don't want to buy it. So if somebody was to approach me and say, hey, I really liked it, I'll buy it off of you, I'll take whatever you offer me, just to say that I sold one of my paintings. Yes, I am goofy like that. Okay, so I'm gonna get started. Like I said, I really like this. It turned out beautiful. Okay, I still gotta varnish it to get this taken care of. So let's get started. Please give me a second to get myself together. Oh, and just so I can prove to you, I wasn't lying. I've been sitting the whole month of September. This is September. Where is the year? There it is. And I love this. This calendar is very beautiful. It's got lots of pictures, lots of beautiful nature pictures that are very inspiring. Look at that. You see, look at that. And for some reason, this one really, the one with the purple sky, really got me. So I'm gonna put my calendar aside because I'll be needing it for work, because it sits right on the side of my desk. All right, I am back. I went ahead and put away a couple of things. Got me some water. I've got my little trusty dropper bottle, which is going back in my art bag because I'm ready for camping. I'm already packed except for my art supplies. Believe it or not, I am so ready to go camping next week, which I'll make sure that I'll have a video available for next week in advance, which is going to be the final video in the series, like I said. And I think it's going to come out. The idea I have for it is really, really, really nice. Hopefully it works out the way I see it in my head, It doesn't always work out that way. So it's my dropper bottle because I like to cheat to put water in here, not for any other reason than to just put it in my palette, okay? So dropper water there. I've been talking about this right here. This is the gouache I keep on my desk. It's just plain white gouache. I do have other colors, but this stays out. This small one is already in my art bag that I'm taking camping with me. I don't know. I might just take pictures. I don't know if I'll paint. But I hope I get inspired, and I have to have what I need when I get ready. What if I get inspired at the moment and I don't have my stuff? I'm gonna suffer if I don't. It'll be in the back of my head the whole time. I've been using throughout the whole series my Simply Simmons. You can zoom in if you need to. I don't know if you can see that because of the glare. That is terrible. Number 10, round brush. No, it doesn't have a defined tip to it. I love this brush. Not my favorite, but I love it. I don't know if I'll be using the fan brush. I definitely used the cat's tongue brush, and this is a number 2 from Master's Touch. This one is Princeton, I believe. Yeah, this is a Princeton. It's got sticky stuff on it. I don't know what it is. Um, a Princeton fan, my Simply Simmons, Cat's Tongue, and this Ying. I'm never going to pronounce this right. Yinghua from the 820 series. I mean, imagine that's what it is. It's from Japan. And I mentioned this before. The measurements on these brushes are kind of off, I think, because it says it's a 1/8, and some say that it's a 2-inch or 2 1/4, and the measurements don't make sense either in centimeters or in inches. So I just mention what it says just in case you end up coming across them. Don't be surprised, okay? And I just used it for the flatness of it. And of course, the trusty Hake brush for water to soak our paper. And we're going to be using our Master's Touch watercolor set, which I'm very impressed with. I have mentioned this before, for being a budget-friendly palette, only less than $17. It's very nice. The paints activate very easily. They're very creamy. I recommend them all the way. I don't know what level paints they are, if they're student or professional or whatever, but they they're easy to work with, and they blend very well as well. I do have, of course, my porcelain mixing palette, my paintbrush toilet, the rinse well, and I got these paints out, part of the, like I said, I need to give them a name out of my 80-something different brand mixed colors. Can't really see it, can you? I don't know why that did that. This is the third tin that I'm filling out of my, so weird, like that, out of my three palettes. I'm working on filling this one up, and this is upside down. There we go. It's supposed to be that way. I love these pens. I got different arts. I've already shown you in the last video. I got the new one, which is the one I put the other paint in. I put it away. And and another one that's empty. This is what I usually take with me, because I put in a little bitty bag here, a mesh bag. I can see everything inside of it, where it's at, so I don't have to dig. See, there's the little gouache. The tiny gouache is ready. So got that one out. I may be using my hair dryer, which it's a cordless hair dryer. That makes it darker for some reason. Let's do that. Okay. I may use the hair dryer. It's a cordless hair dryer that when it's not plugged up, it only puts out cool air, which I'm good with that. Spray bottle. We got paper that I've been using all along. I have several of these, so it's not that I only buy this paper. I tend to like it. I know it's in my Amazon thing, and I know exactly where to go get it, and I just purchased it. It's not very expensive. It was not expensive at all, really, to be honest, but it has great texture on it, and it handles pretty well a lot of water. So for someone who doesn't like buckling and the valleys in it and everything, this is really well. And I'm going to apologize. I'm still working with the lighting. It's an issue. It is an issue for me. Okay, very big issue. Right now I got light coming through the window. If I close the window, then I have no good light. And then my previous video was, I think it was a disaster. It was a terror, because I have very poor lighting in my studio apartment. And one day the lighting be good, next day it won't, and I have the same setting every single time. So I hope this video turns out awesome, because I'm feeling it. I am feel it in my gut that it's going to be a great painting. If not, I've learned from it. Let's get started, you guys. So we're going to, first of all, see what I'm saying? I'm just not all there. Let's activate our paints. Let's shoot them with water. Ta-da! That's going to be juicy. All right, let's get our paper wet. And I always have these boarded up. Okay. I always have these boarded up. But this time I don't have it marked around the middle. That's not necessary because if whatever foreground I'm going to put in there does not need to be in a straight line. I did not sketch anything out. Sometimes I like things to just flow freely. A little fuzzy right there. And I'm trying to be ready with for my next painting, not necessarily for the next video, but for the next painting, because I do not like putting the tape on right before I start painting, which is not a good thing, by the way. I just do it because it's one of my quirks. Let's see. Can you see how wet that is? We're going to let it soak really, really well. I might add just another layer to get it to where I need it to be. And you know exactly when you're like, oh, okay, that's what happened the last time. Let's do it again. And this is what I did the last time. With the water. So, yes, usually when I open up my blocks, they're already margined. That is just because I do it as soon as I finish up. I turn off the camera. I put another one in, just in case I get inspired, and I want to get going. I don't like waiting. I don't like waiting to get started when I am in that mood. When I'm like, I'm ready to go now. So I tend to do that. All right. So this is really, 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 really soaked. Okay. And I might not come all the way down here where it's totally wet. I just want to make sure that I have it all covered just in case I change my mind, you know? And I'm going to put my brush over here on top of the brush holder to dry. Always make sure your brushes are laid down on an incline, you know, like that, on something, resting on something with the bristles down, to make sure you don't ruin the ferrules in your brushes. Because if you do it the opposite, if you lay your brushes down like this, resting on something like that, the water is going to go back here, the glue is going to come undone, and it's going to ruin your brushes. And you might have paid a lot of money for whatever brush you're using at that moment. So we're letting this soak up a whole bunch. The brush is almost ready. Yes, I'm cheating. I'm putting my droplets in there. And that actually might be too much water, to be honest. We don't need, because it's got to be kind of a syrupy, almost completely. I guess I shouldn't have put water in it, right? It has to be thick paint, just to be. So I'm actually not going to use the dropper. Let's put it right there. Let's see. Let's get started here. We're going to do the purple first, which is the darkest area on the top. All right. So we're going to do that. That might have been a bit too dark, for real. I'll be able to take some of that out. Or I'll just spray it, actually. I can spray it and soften it. I don't need to put it in sections. I'm just doing weird stuff with it, okay? See, there's a little valley there that has water collection in it, and it's going to pull the paint down. So let's go in here without rinsing my brush, and I'm just dropping paint straight from the palette. I was going to do it in a wash type, but I'm not. And then I'm going to go back up here, put a little bit more of that purple, like that, and let's go in with the Naples yellow. I did not spray this, but these, I mentioned this before, these paints here, I think they're Rosa paints. I'm going down here at the very bottom. You can't see with the glare. There you go. This is going to be the lightest area. These are Rosa, like I say, Rosa paints, and they're gummy. So if they pick up paint, even though, see that? Even though I didn't spray that palette, it's picking up the paint really well. Actually, a little bit too well. And my brush is barely damp, to be honest, because I've already been dipping back and forth. So I'm gonna steal paint from over here. How about that? I'll steal some paint. And no, that's not gonna look just like that. I swear to you, it's not. But we're gonna go with that technique that we learned for the stormy clouds and the accident that I had that I really enjoyed in the earlier video. And we're gonna use the dabbing method. So we'll crumple up our paper. Might need more than one, just be prepared. And one on standby that I'm not gonna crumple up. How about that? Sorry about that. Spray bottle, please. We gotta fuse these colors. Okay. There we go. Let's fuse the colors, let them soften up a bit. And we're gonna grab some of that. Let's go in. Going in, we're going in, we're going in. Maybe not. Think I had too much water in there? You think? Let's see what happens. Trash. The cool part about this is we're going to go back in and edit the painting with a little bit of for one, we're going to spray this again. I don't know what's going on here. It's coming out with big droplets as well. I don't know why. I don't want it doing that. It's putting big droplets in here. It's not supposed to. But we're going to let it do its thing. Then we're going to come back in and let's see if I can maybe hummingbird a little bit. See that? There we go. We darken up. We're going to darken up some spots. Okay, and it's not the first time that we're going to do this. Because it needs it. Okay? And you'll see what I'm talking about here in a bit. And the paper is damp, so it's okay if I'm putting in paint that is dry. We're not going to put wet paint in. Yes, I'm blending the colors back in. It's okay. I promise you it's okay. What I was saying is that you can go ahead and drop wet paint. Not wet. Dry paint. I can't talk. dry paint in your damp paper because it's going to soften it. This area here, I almost feel like I don't have to do absolutely anything to it. I think it's done what it needs to do. And I'm just going to move, again, some more paint around. Let it do its thing. Yes, it looks messy, but at the end, it looks so pretty. And there's a little bit of cloudy play in here that I really enjoyed. I can remove some of that if I wanted to, or I can dab it out. Let's see what happens when I dab. It looks awesome. That's all I can say, is that I really enjoy the way this looks. There. There. Ta-da! Stormy stuff. And if I wanted to soften it up even more, yes, I could spray it again. But I don't think I really need to. This area, for some reason, I think it should be darker. But I'm going to leave it alone. Because I think, unless I take out even more paint from it. There you go. We can do that. And dry paint only. Dry paint only. Do not put any wet paint on your paper. It will cauliflower on you. See, I think the brush is a bit too wet as well. You see that? And it will cauliflower, or it will leave hard edges, whichever one. But the paper is so wet and damp that it can handle me doing some of this, as well as some. Look at that. See? Look at that. That's so wonderful. And I think I need to add some more of that. And it's just working the dry paint that's in my brush. I have not added any more than what I had in there. And it's just pushing the paint around. You see that? I've not added anything. A little bit of dry action right there. It's a little bit of a hard edge there, so I'm softening up some of it. There we go. What do you guys think? I love it. I know I'm being biased. I know I am. But let's see, I'm gonna attempt to get this paper not soaked like I did a minute ago, but just a bit damper on the edge. See, I'm misting it. I'm really far away. I know you can't see because I'm off camera, but I'm really far away from it, because what's happening here is this. I don't know if you can see it, but see the water where it hit it? Cauliflowers. So I'm trying to soften that up a bit. So before that water that I just sprayed dries, I go in and I soften it to make sure. I don't want to mess with any of this because I really like the way it looks. This is the part I'm struggling a little bit with. There we go. I think I softened it enough. Except that right there. Let's give that a softening up some more. There we go. Look at that. Perfect. Maybe this does need a little softening. There we are. There we go. What do you think? And I'm barely touching the paper because eventually the paper will start rubbing off if you rub too much on it. It'll start to peel. And we don't want that. Those are peels. It's just dots of color that I can't seem to shift. Sorry. And I'm gonna dab right there. Perfect for me. I like that. All right. So now that that's doing that, you have to let it dry completely. We cannot take any chances with this because it's already damp, and you can see it still has a bit of a sheen on it. You see that? Got a bit of a sheen, and it's a little bit buckly, sorry. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause the video, and I'll be back when it's dry. All right, everyone, I am back. This paper was actually so soaked that it took about 25 minutes to dry. So now I had time to sit here and visualize what I want to do with the sky as far as the foreground. And I think I want to do something with the fan brushes actually. I'm going to use this fan brush and this fan brush. This one's a little bit, this one is stiffer. It still separates, but this one is stiffer. And this one's stiffer, this one's softer. Sorry, I can't think, you guys. And maybe, just maybe, a little cat's tongue action. I have a bigger one, but I don't think I'll be needing it. I don't know yet. I'm gonna take the cat's tongue out just in case. Why not? Might as well have it and not need it. Here we are. So this is the number, I believe, a 10. Oh, it's a size 4. That's a big size 4. So we'll put that there. All right. Let's see if I can get in here what I was looking for in my, put here what I see in my brain. Here first, I'm going to do something in here. A little bit of gravelly road, maybe. No, no gravel in the woods, even though it is out there. Let's see. I'll get started on this side. So I'm not quite sure yet. I'll do that here. Okay. Just like that. Just putting down some water, you guys, to get things started. That might help. I guess I should have used a bit of a bigger brush. I just want to put some water down on the paper. It's not that much. That brush is not going to work. And just, there we go. Just a little bit. I'm going to dab some of that out just because. There we are. Might have to. There we go. Take some of that moisture out, as well as some of that out from here. Let's get going with the number 10 Simmons, and we're gonna go. I don't have a color that I really want to use, but you know what? To get the outline, I'm gonna start with yellow, with ochre yellow. I'm gonna mix it in there with that. I need to reactivate the colors a bit. There we go. I'm gonna do a little bit of a thing here. I don't know exactly what's going on quite yet, but let's see what happens. I have a feeling that I'm gonna like it. Let's see, it still looks okay on screen. Let me let you know something I'm going through right now with recording the videos. I enjoy doing it. I really, really do. It gives me a great excuse to paint without feeling like I should be doing something else. Instead, I'm mixing the yellow ochre now with a little bit of my burnt sienna. Oh, that's a beautiful color. Let's add that in here. But I'm having trouble with the lighting. I have now figured out a way for you guys to be able to hear me. Once I start editing this. Oh, and by the way, the last video, my mic went out because I had stopped speaking and I didn't pay attention. I did not know it was going to go out on me for not speaking. And like 2/3 of the video was very low. The sound was very low. Now I'm going to find out how low or loud this is going to be with the mic. Hopefully not terrible. Really hope it's not terrible. I'm not too worried about this area here because it's going to be covered by either a tree trunk or leaves or something. So I'm having trouble. I'm still struggling with the lighting. I know I've talked about this before. I'm trying to be respectful in every possible way, but the lighting it's a problem because I'm looking at my screen. It looks great, but what I'm looking with my naked eye on my paper, directly onto my paper, it's dark. I don't have enough lighting. What I have right now for you guys is this setting on my laptop to where the brightness is a little bit better than what I actually see. So I'm working on a dim light, basically. I'm working in dim lighting, but I want to make sure that looks good for you. So from time to time I look up to make sure that things look as they should. I don't think I like that green. And just to make sure that you guys get what I believe you should be seeing, I set the laptop in a way that is good for you guys, okay? Not necessarily what I wish I could see, because I would be working a little bit better if you guys could see what I see, or if I could see what you guys see. So sometimes, just to make sure that things are looking okay, I go ahead and I look up at the screen. I'm not quite sure what this is, but I kind of like it, okay? So don't judge me yet. I am in the ugly stage of my painting. Yes, I said the ugly stage of the painting. Paper's damp. I'm just applying dry paint to make the further back area darker. Might add a little bit, just a tad bit of this. What color is that? Oh, that's great. See, I've not been cleaning my palette, which that's the reason why. I forgot I had a gray in here. That is a very cool color to have. so I can put it under there. And I want some greenery somewhere in here. Let's see. And now I'm just gonna get fancy with it, okay? And saying fancy is me just saying I'm going free spirited here. I'm using all three of my greens, which is the leaf green, the deep green, and the brilliant green in this palette. I'm gonna add maybe a little touch bit of brown. And the reason why I do that is because you're supposed to implement the colors that you're using in your paint so that I can accept it better, for lack of a better way to say it. Ooh, let's see here. It's too wet. I forgot about that rule. my paper's really wet. And I'm not supposed to do that when the paper's damp. But I'm actually not hating it. Hopefully I can. Actually, I could put salt in here and it will add different texture, but we're not in that part of this quite yet. We're just gonna see if I can get this done right here. Got all three of these colors mixed up really well. I like it. Do another one right here. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to scratch through the paper. There we go. And we're going to add some shadows. Which side? The sun will be on that side coming this way. So we'll add some shadows going this way here in a bit. Like I said, I'm just mixing all three colors. There is no order. There is no... Oh, I missed a little bit of brown in here. There we go. There we are. That's what I'm missing in here. I could do that. I don't know what these bushes are, to be honest. And like I said, I'm going to be scratching through it. That needs a little bit of brown as well. And here, I could change this to turn into a desert picture if I wanted to, Oh, why not? I could. All I will have to do is add some texture. This is almost reminding me of kind of like having a cactus in the middle of somewhere. There are some plants that grow out in the desert that are vibrant and green, or they have rich fruit on the cactus, which I, by the way, really like. I grew up eating stuff like that in Mexico, in Guadalajara, where I grew up. The fruit that grows on the cactus, on the nopales, is called a pitaya or a tuna. They're two different fruits. One is really green. Pitayas are kind of a grayish green on the outside. Sometimes it has red, has different colors, sometimes yellow. And these are red. They're very vibrant red with tiny little black seeds in them. And they're very sweet. But do not get on your clothes because you'll never get it out. And tunas, which is not tuna, like they're spelled the same, T-U-N-A, but tunas there are actually very sweet and juicy. It's not actual fish. Tuna in Spanish is actually called atún. So, man, that actually, for being a mistake, turned out to be really cool. I really like it. We're gonna have to blend these together so it don't look like the trees running away from it. All right, there we go. Just a little bit of dry action here, and a little bit of brown, so they kind of blend in. All right, we're gonna do that. So yeah, and they have these little red fruits, which, by the way, I might, just because I can, I'm going to do it. There's not going to be any fact checking on my fake plants and my fake fruit, okay? I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to come back, put some color in it. I might put a dry tree trunk somewhere in here. Something else over there. All right. We're going to come back to that. But before I get too carried away, I think I want to add scratches. I need to scratch this with a pencil, which I've got no clue what I did with. Well, I thought I was ready. Oh, here we go. Here's something. See how cool that is? You'll see the finished product. Once it dries up, it's going to be awesome. Let's get some of the excess off of it. Scratching the paper, giving it texture, dimension. Just change the whole thing. And this actually was not at all the vision I had for the painting. So there's another change. And I'm going to add, once it dries up a little bit more, I'm probably going to add some red in it. Just because I can. This is our picture. It is my picture for your enjoyment. It doesn't necessarily have to make sense. But I do need to change the background a little bit because you see that is really wet and this is not. I think I need to add a tree trunk right here. A tree trunk. Alright, then we'll do that. We're going to use a cat's tongue just because, like I said, this is a Master's Touch. This is a number 4. We're going to get us a very thick, maybe just directly, not even a wash. I'm going to get a washer just because I like dipping right here. Or maybe I'll just put some water in there. There we go. Easy fix. And it has to be a dark consistency, okay? Very, very dark consistency. I'm going to add a little bit of blue to change how dark it's going to be. And this is just my guide right now. I have to get all this very worked up in here. Because I'm going to have to add blue to my brown so it can get darker. It turns into almost a Van Dyke brown. And to be honest, we're going right up in here. And I'm going to darken this. This is just, and I'm going to give it texture. This is just so I can have the, my reference here. You see this? I drop color in, then I can go in here. And honestly, it is not going to be brown. It's actually going to be more of a almost black here. But I need to have some, this is, like I said, I'm using it to guide me. gotta pay attention where my light's gonna be coming from. That's one of the things. Light is a tricky thing. Let's see. I hope you're enjoying the video. I think I mentioned earlier today, if you liked my video, please like. If you haven't subscribed, please do so if you enjoy it, want to see more. And share if you wouldn't mind. That would be awesome. And I'll make sure I keep putting out more videos. I'm really enjoying the process of learning how to maintain my video, how to put out these videos. I believe that the only thing I don't really care for is the editing part of it. And I don't have money to pay somebody to do it for me. Because believe me, I would. And then I run the risk of not liking what they're doing to my videos after they go ahead and do that. This video is actually almost over. This painting, actually. I just need to do a couple of things in some of these areas. I might put a little bit of a different color over there. Some scratches, some dry brush, maybe some stones, rocks. I think that sounds like a great idea, but the paper is too wet right there. So might just have something right there. Let's see if I can muster up something here. Alright, now this is a mess now, which I like the mess that I made. It's looking awesome. I'm gonna add a couple of like maybe rocks or something in here, big rocks. I don't think it really needs it, to be honest. I don't think I am. I'm gonna leave it the way it is. I am gonna go back in with the markers and the fruit. I'll put in the fruit, but it needs to dry before I do any of that. And take the border off. So I'll be back whenever this is dry. Alright, so there's gonna be a change in sound because I forgot to turn my mic off so I could preserve the battery on it, and it's dead. And so I'm gonna go ahead. Right now, what I'm going to do is add some little branches in here. I am also going to do a little bit of gouache highlights. I was going to use a gel pen, but I think gouache is the right way to do it. And I'm also going to add the fruit in here and then take off the border. I am going to time lapse this for you, and I'll come back at the very end, okay? And for that, just so you know ahead of time, I'm using the Micron markers. I'm going to be using the brush type marker, the 04 marker, and the 08. And for the gouache and the fruit, I'm going to use for the gouache, I'm just using one of my Winsor Newton Cotton paints. This is the 100 series. The round brush is the 111. And this is just a size 4 round brush from Lonely Finger Artist Brush. So I have a little bit of gouache in here and a little bit of water to thin out my gouache. And I'll be done. I'll be back, sorry, at the very end when it's finished. Enjoy the rest of this, please. Alright, now the painting is almost completely dry. The only spot that's not dry is this right here in the shadow. I dumped a bunch of water in it, so I had to use a little bit of the hairdryer action. This I will call finish. All it needs is a signature. If I can find the right marker, which I believe is this one. And I'm going to sign it right up in here. And today is October the 3rd when I recorded the video. You will not get this video until tomorrow. And I really liked it. I think I did better justice to this guy in this one than the last one because I didn't cover it up with the trees completely, but I still like both. So let's go ahead and take this border off. I think that's where I'm supposed to start. Here. Let's get all the border pieces and sides out, just because it'll just be easier that way. This here, and let's do apple here. There we go. And there we go right here. Okay, so I believe we start here. Oh my god, this is the most satisfactory part of the painting besides the painting part of it. I have straightened up a little bit already. I think it's time to change the paper, but the last of the Sky series is going to be messy, I think. So I might not change it quite yet. I think it can handle a little bit more of being roughed up a bit. Let's pull away from the paper. Oh, that is just so beautiful. Oh my goodness, look at this, you guys. Oh, that looks better than I expected it to be honest. The first one, which is right here, I named Candy Sky because of the pink. I think this is Candy Sky 2.0, to be honest. So let's give it that name. Let's find the marker once again. I'll put on here Candy Sky 2.0. From the Sky series. Sky series bonus video. There you go. I'm very happy with it. I think it looks beautiful. I cannot wait for you guys to see it. I'm about to jump on and edit it. And after I post it on YouTube, I'm going to put it on my Curious Artist Facebook page. So if you're not part of my Facebook page, please look me up. I'm the Curious Artist on there. And please befriend me. I thought that when you get the second Facebook account, all your friends kind of